Ladies and gentlemen, we are locked and loaded for turkeys. Not for bear this time, but for turkeys. We're heading east. It's that time of year again. The birds are singing, the sun is shining, and it's time to go have some springtime fun. We got a lot of stuff in store for this video. I got rods, I got guns, I got camping gear, I got wood, I got food. Everything a guy needs to go out and have a good time. So stick around throughout this episode. This is gonna be a good one. First spring trip of the year. Let's go do it. Set, fires are blazing. It's time to put some food in our belly. Tonight is a very special meal. I'm very excited to share with you guys. We're having, wait for it, ta-da, fresh spring Chinook salmon. One of the highest valued meals, in my opinion, in the Northwest at this time of year. These fish come up the Columbia River, and we only get to fish for them for a very short time, but they are some of the highest quality salmon in the world. You can see that color. Super high fat content, because these things are going to be living in the Columbia River and swimming all the way to Idaho and going to their spawning tributaries all summer long. They don't spawn until September or October in their home rivers, and some of their home rivers can actually be thousands of miles away from the ocean. So very tasty fish. Look at this. And what other way to do it than on a cedar plank over the fire? Beautiful. And this cedar plank I didn't actually soak before we used it. It's been sitting out in the rain for the past couple of weeks, so it should be moist enough. If not, we'll have to take it off and do what we can to not get that thing to start on fire, since we're going to be cooking it over the fire. So it's a little bit of seasoned salt, a little bit of Parmesan garlic, a tiny bit of parsley. Okay. Also, what we're going to put on there is just a dash of some pesto and garlic spread. That'll add a nice little flavor, a little bit of oil, and it complements that fish very well. Just like so. Not too much, because that pesto is very strong, but this is actually a blend of pesto and garlic, so it shouldn't overpower it too awfully much. And there it is. She's ready to go. Alright, and alongside our fish, we are going to throw some of the instant McCormick's rice. One of my favorite camping sides, honestly. Super easy. Normally you'd throw this stuff in the microwave, but throw it in the pan, add a little bit of water, cover it up with a plate or something, let it steam. Absolutely great compliment to some good fish. And of course, as always, Insta Caesar. All right, the time has come. Got a good bit of coals going. Put some alder on here because I want the flavor from that cedar, as well as the alder that we're going to kind of smoke that fish with partially as it cooks here over the fire. So pull some of this stuff out. She's blazing now. Give myself a nice little cooking area out here, because it's very cold out. It's spring, but it's still cold in the evening, so I want to be able to stay warm while we're cooking, of course. Okay. Got our handy dandy cooking grate. It's just great, let me tell you. It's a great thing to cook on. Man, on we go. That is a thing of beauty. Now, the one main key to doing this is to not let that cedar catch on fire. Normally you'd want to soak that cedar plank in like a bucket of water or something for a couple of hours, or just enough to soak in enough moisture so that that thing won't catch on fire. So we'll just keep a close eye on it, make sure it doesn't get too close to the fire, but be able to get that heat from that main fire and that little bit of smoke from the alder wood and the taste of the cedar. This is going to be good. All right, dinner update. We're getting there. It's a little bit thicker piece of cedar than you would normally want to use. I cut these while we were out cruising around deer hunting this fall, and I was just basically cutting them off a giant log that was laying there, so I got them a little bit thicker than I wanted it, but it's looking good anyway. Still got quite a bit of pink color, quite a bit of uncooked meat in the middle there, so I've added this little piece of aluminum foil to kind of harness in that heat, get it on top of that piece of fish. That's looking good though. The smells here are unbelievable, people. One day there will be smell-o-vision, and this channel will be the most popular channel in the world. I'm getting hungry. It's time. The time has come. The salmon is flaking.
Yeah.
A perfect flake.
Oh man.
Look at all that fat on that piece of wood. Threw the rice on a few minutes ago, and it is nice and steamy hot. Salad is made. Let's feast. Nice little bed of rice here. Of course, best piece of all. Oh boy. It is so buttery. There it is. What a treat. A true blessing on a perfect night. Night number 1 of an amazing episode. This is just the start, everybody. Tomorrow is going to be a really cool day. We have a lot planned. The day's going to start off with some hunting, so fingers crossed for a successful hunt. Our bellies are going to be full, and we're going to have energy to go out and chase those turkeys. That's for darn sure. Oh my God, that's insane. Just look at it. There is so much fat, especially in their bellies. That's where the most of their fat content is stored. And that is a priceless meal right there. Life is good.
I can't get over that salmon. It's unbelievable.
Good cup of joe, and good morning, everybody. It is an absolutely perfect one. Look at how beautiful it is. Nice and calm. Perfect temperature. Perfect cup of coffee. And we are going to have an amazing day. We heard birds gobbling as soon as we got up this morning. We waited for them to fly down out of the tree. We're going to get our boots on, get our gear together. We're going to head out and try to find ourselves a bird. This is going to be super exciting. Turkey hunting is honestly one of my very favorite things to do, especially because of the time of year it lands on, and that is in the springtime. The spring offers so much stuff. There's so much foraging, so much fun camping, hunting, fishing. We're going to try to fit that all into the rest of this episode, but one thing's for certain. Turkeys are gobbling. We got to find one. Let's go do it. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering what the heck I'm doing, walking around with this brown thing in my mouth, squeaking all kinds of weird noises out here in the woods. Well, this time of year is when the turkeys are mating, and I am the sexiest little hen in town right now. What we do basically is we hike around, finding areas that you can hear a long ways, and we make these calls, which is the sound of a hen turkey, and the toms are responding to them and trying to find them to procreate. I don't blame them. So that's the goal. Hike around till we hear one, call them in, shoot them in the head. Pretty simple.
calling long enough that there's other toms starting to come in. I can hear them in each direction, one to the left and one in front of us. So we're just gonna sit here and wait and see if we can get one. That's a different bird. Get ready. Bro, be ready to shoot. Now that this other one's coming, he's gonna come in quick. You'll have to get up on your knees to shoot. Can you see him still? Those are different birds. He's just gonna pop up here right in front of you any second. When you hear that cluck sound that he was making, that really sharp cluck, get up on your knees and look for him. If you hear it. All right. Bird moved up and over the hill. We let him walk away. I quit calling at him so that he wouldn't keep getting where he could see us. So we're gonna sneak around the opposite direction. I'm gonna switch calls. We're gonna see if we can trick him back in a little bit better spot where we can't see quite as far. Because that was the problem there. I could have shot him one time, but he was probably 70, 80 yards. I didn't want to risk wounding such a beautiful bird, so let's reposition, see if we can get him. Okay, so the irony doesn't get much more thick than this. We're standing at camp, eating a little canned salmon, and look what's walking down the road. I don't think you can see them. Right here is about 40 turkeys standing in the middle of the road. And they're coming this way.
That looks like it.
Okay, everybody, this is literally about to happen. They're walking to the truck. They're so distracted with themselves that they're about to get killed. That's a tom too. It's a tom. Yep.
Oh, right there.
Watch your ears. Take a step back. Step back. This is literally about to happen. Oh my god. This is ridiculous. Or just send me. Put it back.
Shot. Nice.
Just stay put, stay put. Oh my god. There it is. That's a turkey. That's a freaking turkey. First one ever. Let's stay fishy. Wow. Look at the size of this beard. Just a beautiful, beautiful bird. Gotta thank the creator for that one. He was smiling on us the whole time. Heck yeah, man. Yeah. Wow. There it is. That was the craziest thing I've ever had happen to me turkey hunting. I've killed a lot of turkeys in my life, and I've always loved doing this stuff, but I've never been sitting on my tailgate eating lunch and shot a turkey. He walked right to us. There's just one straggler out of the pack. They were all so caught up with each other and chasing around all those hens. No wonder they weren't really answering us today. All those toms had like 30 hens with them, so they already had their ladies. They didn't need my sexy voice, but we needed this. Wow, what an awesome bird. And after all that work this morning, up and down the hills, calling them in, hiding from them, we just had to sit around and do nothing. Heck yeah. All right, back to camp. Alrighty, so now that we have the first element of our wild spring meal in our possession in the cooler, which was amazing. I want to see those comments below what you guys thought of that. That's kind of the craziest little hunting situation I've ever been a part of, but can't complain. We got meat in the freezer now. So, the second piece of this is our wild forage vegetables.
very special time of year because when the first foods start to come up, and Mother Nature provides some of the best food in the world, especially out here where we're at in this episode. What we're looking at here now are some wild roots. Every single one of these little flowers is a special little meal called luksh. And luksh is a type of vegetable that has been harvested by the First Nations of this area for thousands and thousands of years. And to me, it's a very special meal. So we're into it. Every single one of these little white flowers is what we're looking for. I got my huppin, which is my little digging tool. Got my bucket. Let's pick some food. Got a good little patch from going here. This little guy right here is what we're looking for. There's a bulb at the end of this little root. I'm going to take the huppin, just off to the side of it, dig up some of that ground underneath. Let's see what's underneath. There it is. First grab. And these are beautiful. They're almost like a wild radish in a way. You take this, peel that skin off, and you have this delicious, flavorful little piece of meat right at the base of it. It has a very earthy, kind of nice, like radish flavor almost. It goes really well on soups, or just put it in your pocket and walk around all day and chew on them. Delicious little meal, packed full of flavor and full of energy. Yummy. This time of year, they're so juicy and tender. We're on them. Let's start digging. Pretty cool history here. This little stove here, as I'm sure you almost can tell, was actually handed down to me by my grandpa. So this thing is probably 3 times my age. Way to go, Coleman. We made some pretty sturdy stuff back in the day. And it still works. It still feeds us every day we're out here roaming the wild ranges of the Pacific Northwest. All right. We got our wild turkey here. Beautiful piece of meat. I soaked it in salt water for a little bit. Kind of loosens up all that meat, and I'll show you guys as I start to cut it up exactly what it comes out looking like. And I got a fun recipe for that. But obviously, we didn't find any morels. It's still a little bit earlier. I'm gonna have a lot of morel videos coming out, so you guys be on the lookout for those. But luckily, I came prepared with some dried ones from last year's episode. So I'm gonna throw these into the bowl, add a little water to them, and this is the first thing I need to do so that I can start to get these things rehydrated. They're gonna soak up that water and they're gonna come right back to life exactly like they looked like the day I picked them. So we'll add a little water, get this recipe going. Alrighty, and what I'm gonna pair with my morels is this luksh. I haven't actually done it like this before. A lot of times, like you saw, we just eat this stuff raw. But I'm gonna try sauteing it. What I'm gonna do, one important thing, if you guys do ever identify this and you go pick it, it's really important to save these seeds and take them back to the place that you picked them. Because if you pick them, you don't bring them back, and you harvest a big area, they'll never grow back because you take those seeds away and you kill them. So I'm gonna keep those tops so I can throw them back to that area, kind of give them back a little bit to Mother Nature since she gave to me and helped me survive another day of life. And I'm gonna take each one of these, I'm gonna peel them, get them nice and cleaned up with that water. I'm gonna toss them right in with the morels, let them soak up a little bit more of that water. Then I'm gonna saute these things with the morels once those morels are rehydrated. It's gonna be delish. Beautiful. All right, next step, time to prep my bird. The way I like to do this, I like to season this first, and I'm going with my old school seasoning, instant potatoes. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna lay that breast down. Look how beautiful that thing is. So when I take this, I basically breasted it out just like a chicken. You kind of fold that breast back. I shared it with the people that I was hunting with, so
that gave some away, but this is what we have left. And we're gonna take that little. Oh yeah, yummy. So I'm gonna make sure to cut across the grains. If I cut with the grain, it can kind of be a little bit stringy. So I see the grains going this way. I'm gonna take it. I'm just gonna cut little chicken fingers, basically. Nice little strips here, just like that. Not too big because you want them to cook through nicely. Not too small because you want something to eat. Just like so. Those tenderloins that come off there are absolutely delicious. So take that one there. None is going to waste. Creator gave us this beautiful bird. We're gonna make the most of it. Here you go, buddy. Okay, there's our beautiful meat laid out. So I'm gonna take my garlic and Parmesan seasoning. And this doesn't have any salt in it, so I'm gonna go pretty heavy with that. Give it a nice flavor. This is kind of the flavor I want. That Parmesan goes really nice. And of course that garlic goes really nice with the turkey. I'm gonna go a little bit of my za'atar. There we go. A little bit. Seasoned salt. Idaho Joe. There we go. Start mixing that stuff up. Make sure to get all that stuff off the pan. That looks really good. Just want to get a nice coating on it. You don't want to go too crazy. Bam. Bam. Peanut butter and jam. No cross-contamination for you, but that's all right. Those mushrooms will be getting hot. Craziest thing ever, though. Look at this. Already back to life. Crazy. Looks like the day I picked them. All right, from there, we're going right into our Idahoan instant potatoes. These are just freeze-dried potatoes, freeze-dried mashers. Grab the pieces, kind of lay them in there evenly so they don't get bunched up. Let's give those first a little shake first. Shake, 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 Sharona. There we go. A couple more pieces in there. Bam. Bam. Looking good. See, I got a nice coating on there. And I didn't use the seasoned or the flavored instant potatoes this time. I used just the plain because I put my seasoning on that fish anyway. Stuff, or on the fish, turkey. We're used to cooking fish. It's time to eat some real protein. There we go. I'm gonna let that sit for a few minutes while I get my other stuff ready, so that instant potato kind of bonds with that flesh. We're about ready to cook. And while we wait, we're gonna live the high life. And so while I'm doing my turkey, I'm gonna drain my mushies and my looks. So you want as much of that water to get out of there as possible now. Oh, man down, man down. All right, dirt don't hurt. Okay, looks like our oil is getting hot. Oh, that camera's a little wet. Look out, incoming. Hey, oh, somebody's gonna lose an eye. I'm gonna slice my looks up in small slices here. What a cool looking root. Beautiful, honestly. Almost looks like a truffle mushroom in a way. Oh, God. One thing that's very important with turkey is that you do not overcook it, you guys. You want to get a nice golden brown on each side. And normally, my routine is that I'll throw it in the oven when it's about halfway done. I'll get it golden brown on each side, and then I'll toss it in the oven and let it finish in the oven, but we don't have an oven out here. So we got some tin foil. I'm gonna flip it early before it gets too cooked because it'll dry out really quick. These are not very fatty birds. These things run around and get chased by predators their entire life. So, that being said, they burn a lot of fat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put it, as soon as it comes off there, I'm gonna put it in some aluminum foil, wrap it up, and then I'm gonna get my mushrooms cooking. All right, I think we're about good. I'm gonna check these big pieces first. Make sure they cooked all the way through. We're almost there. Another 2 minutes, and we go in the hood. And we're going in the hood. Let's do a little drip dry. A little bit of Parmesan cheese to top it off. A lot of it. like that. We're gonna let that rest. Okay, I get the last of that water out of there. Give them a little squeeze. In they go. Okay, so one important thing here. One thing that we have to do is to make sure to cook the rest of that water out of those morels. We rehydrate them, now we gotta dehydrate them again. So don't add your butter or any of your seasonings until you get all the water out of these things. And I didn't really let them rehydrate that long, so probably not gonna take too long. I'm gonna throw that look in there too, so it starts getting a little bit of a cook. Oh boy, oh baby, baby, oh, baby, baby, yeah. This is living off the land. All right, gonna do the same seasonings: tartar, farmgar, and Hojo. Look at that. I gotta try the look. I've never had it cooked before. This is an experiment. Holy shit. That's even better cooked. Better try the morel. This is ridiculous. She's good. Warm up my plate a little bit. I am so excited. We're eating like kings, living off the land. Okay, plate's hot. Real hot. Too damn hot. And where's my fork? Okay, here we go. Some morels going in the pan. Ooh, she's a steaming. Oh my god. Look at that. Looks better under the headlamp. Juicy. Tasty. Scrumptious. Yum. Here we go. Got my plate a little too hot, but nothing can stop us now. Wow. Look at that. Mmm. Tender, full of flavor. I already knew it was going to be good. This is one of my favorite meals in the world. We usually have to work a little harder for it. Let's try the triple whammy. Everything nature provides in one bite. Oh my god. I think we'll call it the spring explosion. Wow. What an incredible adventure this has been. Highs, lows, exciting moments, and amazing meals provided by our Mother Nature. This has been a lot of fun, you guys. And remember, we're out here filming another video similar to the one you just watched. We're going to be doing another trip. We're going to try to get Marlin a turkey. So tune in to next week's video, or you will regret it. I want to thank you all so much for being here, everybody. Until next time, same place. You all stay fishy. We'll see you out there.